And we did the drop of Crying You Out. Drums are laid pretty heavily in this. Usually I go 2 samples at most, but with this, I really wanted to try and get that live feel. Cool. Moving on to the snares. And again, keeping with the theme of it trying to be in sort of like a live space, we've got some live loops for the top end of the drums. Some fills here. That sounds sick. Cool. And the drums all together are sounding like... Sweet. So let's get to the drop now. I always start with the sub, so let's start there. No post-processing on it whatsoever, just straight sine, because I find that's how you get a really powerful low end. Then we move on to the basses. Okay, so we've got like 5 or 6 layers going on here. This one has a sound delay plugin on it. Very mono before that. Damn, that's some crazy bass. So this is a contact plugin, and if you go to like the straightforward preset, you put it on muted. Really cool. Moving on, chord stacks. Got Omnisphere. And that's quite like a phasey, flangery sort of layer, which for these type of drops with really big open sustained notes, you kind of need that movement. And then onto the leads. Now on their own they sound pretty weird, but when you add them in the context of the chords, now these have portamento on them, meaning that they are sliding between notes. And then some atmospheres to tie it all together. Now all of that is being supported by this guitar that's quite buried low in the mix. Now the initial hit on the drop is 2 layers. The first layer is a sub with some saturation on, so you can hear it rather than just feel it. And the second layer is a silent bass, which is just absolute filth and just goes perfectly into the drop. Okay, so that's the same patch as the rest of the drop, except it's got a saturator on it. And then of course, no Chords track is complete without an ARP. And then we just have stuff happening in between, like we've got... that is like another Sullivan King with an auto pan on it. There's no phase, so it's not going left and right, this is just effective volume. Just making it ever so slightly pluckier, because if we go 100%. And then there is a effect there, just to layer on top. I feel like this is important, and I feel like it's something people miss out, because people are trying to create moments in the track, like with just that plucky bass there. But when you just have that soloed and you're not getting the stuff in the background that you might not think to add, and that's where it's going to sound empty. So if we play the track without that effect in the background, you'll hear the difference than when it is there. It just makes all the difference. Saturate it again. We took the saturation away. And something I've been teaching in my lessons lately is that you need the stuff in the verses and the build-ups to carry on into the drop sometimes. So for instance, we've got... and then it's still in the drop as well. As well as these chord basses. And then when it drops here, it's still there. Just affected differently though. Atmosphere's still in the drop. Like it fades in right there. And then there's some effects to just support this stuff in the drop. So we've got a downlifter and a crowd. And then of course we've got a vocal chop in the drop just to give more movement. So it's just a reversed vocal. Auto pan on, send it left and right. Reverb. Distortion. OTT. And then EQ to clean it up. Now, altogether that sounds like... Hope that was helpful, guys. I'm doing one-on-one lessons for anyone that wants to learn further music production stuff with me. I'm doing it for a while now, and I'm noticing great results with the people I'm working with. Check the links in the bio, and I'll be back very soon with more videos.